Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Health on the County Oversight and Working Engagement at Kiambu County on 10th November 2025, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 19th March 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Now, statements pursuant to Standing Order 52-1. Senator Fernandi.
Mr. Speaker, sir, statement on centenary celebration of Kapsabet High School. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make a statement on a matter of national importance regarding the centenary celebration of Kapsabet High School, Kapsabet Town, Nandi County, an institution that has for the last 100 years played a pivotal role in shaping Kenya's leadership, promoting academic excellence, and contributing immensely to the development of our nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, founded in 1925 as a government African school, Kapsabet, during colonial period, Kapsabet High School, as was known before Kapsabet Boys, was established to provide a secondary education to African students at a time when opportunities for quality educations were extremely limited. Over the decades, the institution steadily grew in stature and reputation to become one of Kenya's premium national schools, distinguished by its strong tradition of discipline, scholarship, and leadership formation. Mr. Speaker, sir, for a century, this great institution has nurtured generations of young men who have gone on to serve our country and the international community in various capacities. As a proud alumni of Admission 8708 Form 1 West to Form 4 West of Kapsabet High School, I stand before this House with a deep sense of honor and pride to celebrate the centenary of Kapsabet High School, a school that has shaped generations of leaders who continue to serve our nation with distinction. The school has become widely recognized as a cradle of leadership, producing distinguished alumni who have excelled in governance, public service, business, academia, sports, and other fields of national and global significance. Mr. Speaker, sir, notably Kapsabet High School holds the rare distinction of producing 2 presidents of the Republic of Kenya. I don't know of any other school. The late Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, who served as Kenya's 2nd president from 1978 to 2002, as a proud alumnus of this institution and one of its most distinguished benefactors. Equally, and I want Senator Sifuna to listen to this, Excellency William Kipchirchir Samoei Arap Ruto, the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya, also passed through the halls of this great school, further underscoring the institution's long-standing, went through the school, standing tradition of nurturing leaders, Mr. Speaker, who shaped the destiny of our school. Mr. Speaker, sir, beyond the presidency, the institution has produced numerous distinguished leaders who serve Kenya with dedication and distinction, including myself. These include eminent statesmen such as the famous total man Nicholas Kipiator Arap Biwott, one of the Kenya's longest-serving cabinet minister and a former member of parliament of Keyo South in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Honorable Henry Kiprono Kosgei, 30 years serving member of parliament of Tindret in Nandi County, and a former minister for industrialization, education, among others. Kipruto Arap Kirwa, former member of parliament for Cherangani and a minister for agriculture, and of course the late Jean Marie Seronei, who was my grandfather, respected parliamentarian and former deputy speaker of the National Assembly, who was widely admired for his courage and commitment to democratic ideals. Mr. Speaker, sir, the school has also produced many leaders who continue to serve our country within parliament and the devolved system of government, including the governor of Nandi, the member of parliament of Chesumei, and former Nandi's member of parliament, Alfred Kiptoo Keter, among other distinguished leaders who continue to make valuable contributions to the governance and development of our country. Mr. Speaker, in addition to political leadership, Kapsabet High School has produced distinguished professionals who serve the country with excellence in public administration and other sectors. Among them is Dr. Richard Belio Kipsang, who has served for the last 13 years with distinction as a principal secretary in various ministries, contributing significantly to strengthening a public service in the Republic of Kenya, as well as Dr. Chris Kipto, the principal secretary of the National Treasury, who has played an important role in the national economic management and public finance and administration. Mr. Speaker, sir, the school's influence also extends beyond governance and public administration and to the international arena through sports and other global platforms. Among its distinguished alumni was my classmate, Julius Yego, the Olympic silver medalist and world champion in javelin, whose remarkable achievements have brought honor and pride to Kenya on the global stage. Mr. Speaker, sir, the centenary celebration of Kapsabet Boys, which was presided over by the Chief Guest, His Excellency Dr. William Kipchirchir Samoei Arap Ruto, marks not only a significant milestone in the history of the institution, but also an important moment of reflection for our country. It provides an opportunity to celebrate 100 years of excellence in education and leadership while paying tribute to the generations of teachers, administrators, students, and alumni whose dedication and commitment have built this institution in one of the most respectable centers of learning in the Republic of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, this historic milestone also reminds us of transformative power of education in shaping societies and building strong foundations. For the last 100 years, Kapsabet High School has consistently demonstrated that investment in education is ultimately investment in leadership, national unity, integrity, and sustainable development. The school has nurtured young men from diverse backgrounds and equipped them with knowledge, discipline, values necessary to contribute meaningfully to the progress of our country. Mr. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, as the institution embarks on the second century, it is my sincere hope that it will continue to uphold the values of discipline, integrity, academic excellence, and service to the nation that have defined it for the past 100 years. I also urge the alumni, fraternity stakeholders, and well-wishers of this great school to continue supporting its growth and development through mentorship, infrastructure development, and scholarship opportunities so that it may remain a beacon of excellence and leadership for generations to come. In conclusion, I congratulate alumni, students, and entire fraternity of Kapsabet High School, which continues to distinguish itself, Mr. Speaker, from schools who like polling stations. For this remarkable and historic milestone, may this centenary celebration renew the institution's enduring legacy of excellence and inspire to continue nurturing generations of leaders who will serve our nation with integrity, patriotism, and unwavering for many years to come. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator for Baringo County, the Honorable Kiprono Chemitei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity you've given me to make a statement in the House. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant Standing Order number 5.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations on matters county-wide concern regarding proliferation of illicit alcohol in Baringo. Mr. Speaker, on 16th February 2026, the residents of Eldamaravine town in Baringo County took to streets to protest against the widespread sale of consumption of illicit alcohol in the area, which has been attributed to death of at least 10 people since December 2025. The residents raised concern that the government efforts to address the matter have been inadequate. There was urgent need for comprehensive review and the existing regulatory framework and enforcement measures. Mr. Speaker, in my statement, I will seek the committee to address the following. 1, the number of persons arrested for the manufacture of distribution and sale of illicit alcohol in Eldamaravine town and across Baringo County from January 2025 to date, including details how many of those arrested have been prosecuted, convicted, and sentenced. Number two, Mr. Speaker, to initiate and undertake by the national government and the county government of Baringo to support the rehabilitation, treatment, individual and affected alcohol and substance use disorder. Mr. Speaker, number three, whether the national authority to the campaign against alcohol and drug abuse, popularly known as NACADA, has any plans conducting community-level awareness campaigns in Baringo County to educate residents on dangers of illicit alcohol and discourage of consumption. Last, Mr. Speaker, the reforms being considered to address existing regulatory and enforcement gaps to control of illicit alcohol, including specific measures to strengthen monitoring mechanism and enhance coordination among relevant national and county agencies. Senator Kiprono Chemitei, Baringo County, dated 6th March 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. I think that has already been taken by the Honorable Chemitei. That was the only statement under Standing Order 53-1. Statement pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, the Senate Majority Leader. Okay, I will allow comments on the statement by Honorable Senator Chemitei for a period of not more than 15 minutes. Senator for Makueni County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to comment on this very important issue. Mr. Speaker, drug abuse has been so dangerous to so many young people in the country and sometimes arises out of depression, joblessness, and also bad company, Mr. Speaker. And NACADA, who recently appeared before the Committee of National Cohesion, explained that they have several challenges, including funding. And one of the things came out is that they are trying to expand to the regions. But you can see the lack of vigor in the team which visited the Senate and a lot of discouragement in terms of how it is handled in the country. Now that, Mr. Speaker, it is in the office of the President, but seems not to be enjoy budgetary provisions. Some of the things they are supposed to do are rehabilitation centers, of which quite a number of them are run by individuals like the Honorable Mutudo, who one time was a chair and has a passion of rehabilitating many young people who have gone into drug abuse, Mr. Speaker. In fact, in one time, Mr. Speaker, in a debate in this House, drug abuse has been described like a sickness or something which is very difficult to get rid of in society unless there are proper plans, Mr. Speaker, by the state to make sure that, first of all, there's no cheap, dangerous alcohol available for young people, which is easily abused, especially by those who have not taken a meal, and also ensuring that, Mr. Speaker, there are ways of dealing, even those dealing with the hard drugs in the country. And the framework is not properly embedded in the system we have, Mr. Speaker, and therefore there is a need, and even through this request for statement, to make sure that that department is focused and comes to this House and explains what are they doing for every single county in the nation, so that there can be a rehabilitation center in every single county in the nation. There can be a method of dealing with drug abuse. There can be a way of making sure there is prevention. And Mr. Speaker, one of ways of preventing drug abuse in the country is making sure that young people are gainfully employed, they are out of bad company, and that they copy good role models from the leadership of the country, Mr. Speaker. A lot of parents are unable to deal with this situation. A lot of university students have gone into it. They have delayed in completing their degrees. They have become hopelessness. And Mr. Speaker, some of young people and also older people who are in this habit, Mr. Speaker, have been killed by alcohol, Mr. Speaker, which is very difficult to cure if there are no proper mechanism. Mr. Speaker, we have rehabilitation centers which even beat up these young people, and they are known and they have been marked in this country where they exist. They go, they beat them up, they are taken through a very rough moment with their parents having paid for that to happen. Mr. Speaker, we must have humane method of dealing with the abuse of alcohol and drunkenness in the country. And I've suggested one of the best ways is to make sure that we lower our taxes so that the companies can come and invest here as they used. We lower the cost of electricity, we lower taxation, we make life possible to live, so that, Mr. Speaker, then many people can gainfully be employed and will be busy working instead of busy idling during the whole day and getting involved in dangerous activities. In a way, they have been misled to be entertainment, yet is a very easy way for one to find themselves dead or having abused alcohol and having failed to utilize their education properly, Mr. Speaker. So this is something the country must.
Now, before we continue with the comments, I will allow Honorable Mungatana to make his request for a statement so that it becomes one of the statements that Honorable Senators will be seeking to comment on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the status of prosecution of corruption and economic crimes arising from the county government of Tana River by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP. Mr. Speaker, corruption, abuse of office, and misappropriation of public resources continue to rise within the county government of Tana River despite the county's pressing development needs. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the number and status of files relating to Tana River County officials that have been submitted to the ODPP by investigative agencies, including the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, and any other relevant agency. 2, the outcome of the ODPP's review of those files, indicating those approved for prosecution, those referred back for further investigations, those closed, and the reasons for those decisions. 3, the status of prosecutions commenced, including the number of active court cases arising from the said files, the charges preferred, the offices held by the accused persons, and the current stage of progress of each matter before the courts. 4, the measures and recommendations made by the ODPP or other relevant agencies to the county government of Tana River to strengthen accountability, prevent abuse of office, and deter further corruption and economic crimes. Senator Dr. Danson Mungatana, Senator Tana River County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chimera.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I wish to make comments on the statement as sought by Senator Chemitei from Baringo County. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to see the good senator quickly learning the ropes. Now I understand why the good people of Baringo sent him to this honorable house, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me first begin by saying the rise of illicit alcohol and liquor in this country, Mr. Speaker, is becoming a serious problem, especially to the lives of the young men and women of this great nation, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, this problem has continued to exist because of a huge inefficiencies from our law enforcement agencies, Mr. Speaker, especially those people who serve under Ngawa, Mr. Speaker. It is practically impossible for them not to know that there is proliferation of illicit liquor happening all over the country, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, it is time that we really call to extreme measures and actions against Ngawa officers, because they're the ones who are charged and tasked with the duty of making sure that such liquor does not really find itself and access to the market, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sometimes back when the good honorable former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was in office, Mr. Speaker, the only thing perhaps he could do then, and what he knew best perhaps, Mr. Speaker, was he attempted to sanitize this whole issue of, and I repeat the word attempted, Mr. Speaker, because he didn't go as far as making sure this question is strongly combated and addressed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have access of this liquor even to young school-going children, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, there must be a legal framework that this House or the other House, Mr. Speaker, must come up with towards making sure that this issue is nipped in the bud before it grows into a cancer, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it might interest you that I, Senator Chimera from Kwale, I am proposing amendments to the Alcoholic Control and Drinks Act, Mr. Speaker, so that we are able, instead of allowing our young men to participate in the promotion, in the sale, in the manufacture, distribution and supply of illicit liquor, Mr. Speaker, but let them be allowed to have access to what will be affordable traditional brew, Mr. Speaker. Traditional brews, Mr. Speaker, like, and I'm happy the good senator from Kisii is stamping his feet, like Busa, Mr. Speaker, from Western Region, Muratiena, from Senator Nyandaro's area, and our Mnazi, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure you know Mnazi. And, Mr. Speaker, I would be shocked if you are seated there today and you're not a beneficiary of this Mnazi thing, Mr. Speaker. I know in your life, Mr. Speaker, you have benefited greatly from Mnazi, Mr. Speaker, either by way of partaking in Mnazi, Mr. Speaker.
Can you keep the chair out of your comment?
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw and apologize. But, Mr. Speaker, it is common knowledge that some of us from the coast have actually gone to school through the sale of Mnazi, Mr. Speaker. And I dare say, Mnazi hoye, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, I'll be bringing to this floor amendments aimed at making sure that our people in Kenya.
Senator for Nairobi City County.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to make brief comments on the statement by Senator Mungatana, but let me just say congratulations to Kapsabet boys for marking those years, 100 years, Honorable Speaker. Given the reputation of that school, the expectation is that anybody who properly went to Kapsabet boys can properly pronounce the word centenary and alumni. Those words. But, Speaker, we have been told by the senator from Nandi that there
Senator
are people...
Sifuna,
Speaker, let me just finish.
that statement does not attract comments. That statement, it was made
I'm not speaking on the
under
statement.
52-1.
I am not replying to the statement, Speaker. I'm just saying it has been brought to my attention. But it has been also confirmed that there are some people who passed through and others who went to that school, so you can tell. Those ones who passed through, we can tell. And I would really want an opportunity to go to that school so
Senator
that they
Sifuna,
tell us.
Make your comments on the other statement.
Yeah, so that they tell us if they are proud of some of these names that have been thrown around here, Biwot, Ruto, and these others. They will tell us themselves as an institution. But, Speaker, Senator Mungatana knows that I am a member of the Public Accounts Committee. Senator, we are working very hard to be able to deliver a report here to this House on the consideration of the reports of the Auditor General for the financial year 2024-2025. One of our biggest frustrations as a committee, and this is something that previous members of the committee will also attest to, is that we have made multiple recommendations. In fact, sometimes we get so frustrated, Chair, that we call, we harass, you know, we have an EACC liaison officer that sits with us in that committee. it is very frustrating, Honorable Speaker, that you can find clear evidence of malpractice, even some that are admitted by the county entities themselves. But the progress of investigation and prosecution has been so slow that sometimes we just appear like people who are there to lament. I will tell you, Senator Mungatana, that when we ask our EACC liaison officer who sits in our committee whether she has a tool that enables her to track the recommendations that we've made as a committee and also to be able to report back and say this is the status of investigations, these are the findings of the investigators, these are the recommendations of the ODPP, she doesn't have that capacity. And it is something that we've continued to challenge the EACC, that for as long as we as a House have no mechanism of knowing or following up on some of our recommendations, it becomes very difficult for accountability to happen. And then lastly, Honorable Speaker, we also have seen a situation, Honorable Mungatana, that out of some of the conversations we have in the committee, you will see the EACC, without conducting proper investigations, they will just run to arrest a governor. And there's so much, it is done with so much drama. And the expectation in the public and even for us as senators in the committee is that they actually have evidence. We saw this with the governor for Trans Nzoia, the Honorable George Natembeya. He was arrested with so much drama, Honorable Speaker, only for the court to drop those charges just recently. So we want to continue to push that the ODPP and the DCI must do proper investigations and bring some of these things to a close. I thank
Senator Joyce Correll.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me also to congratulate Honorable Cherargei for the statement that he has brought on about Kapsabet, one of the schools that is really performing so well and producing.
Senator Joyce.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker.
On that statement.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to comment on the statement that was brought forward by the Honorable Senator from Baringo on the issues of illicit brew. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the challenges that we are having, which is affecting most of our youth. And I also want to say, Honorable Speaker, that I must commend the government, the President and the CS for the steps that they have taken in terms of making sure that they have a crackdown on these issues of illicit brew. Honorable Speaker, when you try to see what is happening across the country, you find that most of our youth have been having a lot of health issues because of these drugs, Honorable Speaker. We have the issues of health, we have the issues of the diseases, we have the issues of mental health. To an extent nowadays, Honorable Speaker, despite the fact that we've been having, as a committee on cohesion, matters on employment of the youth in this country, Honorable Speaker, a number of them are facing mental challenges because of these drugs, Honorable Speaker. So it is high time that we rise to the occasion and make sure that we streamline these issues that are affecting our youth to an extent that they are really addicted to even an extent that they cannot be able to work, despite the fact that this is the age that we need to really assist this country in terms of development and in terms of service delivery, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we've also seen a number of them dying because of these drugs, because of a lot of frustration. Others are talking about issues pertaining unemployment. Others, Honorable Speaker, are challenged in terms of even the working environment. And we've really seen this becoming a big challenge in this country. And if the House or if the relevant ministry can raise the occasion and make sure that they streamline and even be able to apprehend, especially the producers of these drugs, Honorable Speaker, we will be able to have a better generation. Otherwise, I support, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the statement by the Senator of Baringo on illicit alcohol in Baringo County, and not limited to Baringo County, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I rise with a broken heart as a parent, because I know what happens to our young ones and how pained parents are when they see their young ones affected by the illicit alcohol. Honorable Speaker, as a country, we should stop looking at the issue of alcohol as a social issue. It should not only be limited to the social effects, but we must go a step ahead, Honorable Speaker, and look at the use or the overuse of illicit alcohol as a health issue, Honorable Speaker. Just as we treated epidemics like HIV, Honorable Speaker, which initially the public saw as a health issue, but later we learned as a country that that was a large social issue. And so a lot of measures were put in place as a country to address the issue of the epidemic of HIV. The same way, Honorable Speaker, this country, we must treat the issue of alcohol and especially the use of alcohol with our youth so that we put concerted efforts, Honorable Speaker. And when I talk about concerted effort, Honorable Speaker, I want us as a country to mobilize resources, put efforts together. Even the NGOs that we have in the country, the CBOs, all the partners that come to this country must begin to address the issue of illicit alcohol and its consequences on our populations, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we must also address the issue of employment. Probably a number of our youths having gone to school, Honorable Speaker, and finding themselves with nothing to do, resort to alcohol. But we want to tell our youths and everybody that long time ago, traditionally, alcohol is something that we partake after hard work as you relax later in the evening or early in the night. It is not something that our population can focus their time of their productive time during the day taking alcohol. Because, Honorable Speaker, even that alcohol that you go and take, you cannot get it for free. You have to work during the day, and after work, you can make a choice to take just a little bit that is not harmful to your health. So, Honorable Speaker, I want also to emphasize the role of the church, that the church must also take their place in the society in the fight against alcohol and its consequences on our communities. Honorable Speaker, I support this, and I want everybody in this country to take off their time so that we attend to our youths and we attend to the population, and let us look at this as a health issue and not necessarily a social issue. Honorable Speaker, I...
Senator Kinyua.
Bwana Spika, asante kwa kunipa fursa hii. Nataka kumpongeza Senator wa Baringo Kiprono Chemitei kwa kuleta taarifa hii. Bwana Spika, pombe hii haramu imekuwa ni janga kubwa na tishio kwa afya ya umma, Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, pale Eldamaravine tarehe 16 kulikuwa na maandamano makubwa kwa sababu kutokea Disemba mpaka sasa zaidi ya watu 10 wamekufa, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo hili janga ni janga ambalo linasumbua sana wa Kenya. Lakini Bwana Spika, inapaswa ikumbuke vizuri ya kwamba aliyekuwa naibu wa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua alikuwa amepigana na hizi pombe haramu na vile vile haya madawa ya kulevya. Bwana Spika, nakumbuka sisi watu wa kutoka Bonde la Ufa tulikusanyika tukiwemo Joyce na wale wengine pale Nakuru tukilivalia hili swala juga, kwa sababu pombe hii haramu isipopiganwa nayo, Bwana Spika, itaharibu sio tu nchi lakini maisha wa Kenya. Lakini Bwana Spika, ni mpaka tujiulize sababu ya hii pombe haramu kuwa inaendelea kuongezeka ni nini? Jambo la kwanza, Bwana Spika, ni umaskini na ukosefu wa ajira. Kwa hivyo wakati watu wamekosa ajira wanajitosa katika haya mambo ya kutengeneza hizi pombe haramu kwa sababu wanapata wateja kwa urahisi, Bwana Spika. Jambo lingine ambalo linaleta hii pombe haramu kuenea, Bwana Spika, ni bei yake ni nafuu ukilinganisha na pombe ambayo zimekubalika. Kwa hivyo, kwa sababu ya watu ukosefu wa pesa, wanaendelea kubugia hizi pombe, Bwana Spika. Vile vile, Bwana Spika, ufisadi na ulegevu wa asasi za usalama ambazo zimepewa hayo majukumu. Bwana Spika, unapata wale ambao wanatengeneza hizi pombe wanatoa hongo, wanatoa mlungula kwa hawa maafisa wa usalama na wanawakinga. Kwa hivyo wanaendelea kutengeneza hizi pombe na wananchi wa Kenya wanaendelea kuumia. Bwana Spika, ukweli usemwe kwa sababu wanasema mgala muwe na haki umpe. Vile vile utamaduni wetu, nilisikia wakati Chimera alipokuwa akiongea watu wakimpigia makofi. Lakini vile vile hizi pombe busaa na zile zingine ambazo zimesemwa, basi unapata watu wanatupitia hiyo njia wakileta hizi pombe ambazo ni haramu. Kwa hivyo, Bwana Spika, ninaunga mkono taarifa iliyoletwa.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to first, Mr. Speaker, acknowledge, and I'm very happy that at least finally this House has biometric registration. Sometimes because of old age, we've been misplacing our cards. So I feel much safer and more secure. Number two, I am proud to see the student in Form 1, Honorable Chirargei. Sometimes he is really bright and brilliant, but sometimes he represents behaviors which I see a lot of my Kisii people have. I've never wondered why he behaves like a Mkisi and he went to Kapsabet. When you are a Mkisi, you go to Kisii High School or Cardinal Tunga, or St. Mary's Yala for that matter. Mr. Speaker, the issue of alcohol and drug abuse, we treat it more like a criminal issue. Mr. Speaker, this issue is basically a mental, socioeconomic health issue, which I believe, mishandled. And I wanted to correct my brother Kinyua. My brother Kinyua, the reason why alcohol has been used and abused is because we, the people who sit in this house, are the ones who have been the ones who sell something that comes from Uganda, that comes from Tanzania, that comes from South Africa, and that is ethanol. If you want to be rich very quickly, sell ethanol. And we have refused to stop the individuals who are getting this ethanol because they take the ethanol without using standards, and they produce some of these things that are killing our people. Mr. Speaker, if you look at Tanzanians, they have a drink which is called konyagi, brewed in Tanzania. If you go to Uganda, there's a drink which is called waraji, brewed in Uganda. But in Kenya, we have never standardized our local brew. So we allow our people to drink changa. We allow our people to drink whatever that can be available because the market we have allows our young people to drink whatever we can. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, what Honorable Chimera said was actually very good. There is nothing wrong with this House or any institution that is responsible to go out there and demarcate areas where our poor people who are not able to afford a beer can go and buy a drink for 20 bob or 30 bob. The only thing we need to standardize and make sure it is packaged well. And I want to thank Honorable Kiproto Cheme, the Senator for Baringo, where many of my aunties come from, that the issue you've raised is wonderful. Keep up fighting for your people, and I wish you well in your endeavor to become a very excellent senator. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chironke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want to comment on what my colleague, the distinguished senator of Baringo, Senator Kiprono Chemitei, I think is learning very fast, and we are proud of what he's doing. at the inceptive steps, Mr. Speaker. And also, Mr. Speaker, to discourage people who went to schools that has used our polling stations to know some of us are proud of Kapsabet boys. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of alcohol and illicit brew, I'm happy that the ministry has given chiefs of what we call National Government Administration Police Unit. We need to use this ngapu for enforcement of fight of illicit brew in our counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the problem is also we have is enforcement. Most of the police, or especially administration police, collect what we call protection fee, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, it is important the Mututo law should be applied. You have seen even some clubs, Mr. Speaker. And clubs are being, I can see the chair of education is looking at me excitedly, Mr. Speaker, is some of the clubs are located next to schools. Yet it is against the Mututo laws. The issue is not lack of laws. The issue is enforcement of laws, Mr. Speaker. And finally is to appeal that we need to give tax exemptions to Kenya Breweries Limited so that they can make cheaper alcohol, which is safe, Mr. Speaker, so that access is very easy. Because we know the holiday starts tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. There are young people in this city and across many cities in the world, in Kenya, that do what we call aluta. Aluta, Mr. Speaker, means that you disappear 3 days like Jesus Christ and you come back to your house after enjoying yourself over 3 days, Mr. Speaker. So I want, and also to agree with my in-law, Mr. Speaker, the issue of Nazi, Busa, and Konyagi and the rest, is that we should be allowed, especially for ceremonies. You know, Mr. Speaker, and Buratina, it is used for blessings. It is used for libation, Mr. Speaker. It is used for blessings,
Senator
ceremonies, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Fernandez,
Okay.
there's a point of order, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 105. Is it in order for the distinguished Senator of Nandi to mislead the House and the nation that Kapsabet Boys is not used as a polling station, yet is in this House, courtesy of the votes that are being cast in polling stations, Honorable Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, as my late grandfather and former Deputy Speaker of this House, Jean Maria Serone, said, you know, when people rise up to question some of the things, you don't need to answer them, Mr. Speaker. So I leave it there to rest and allow the distinguished Senator of Baringo to come for notes later. Mr. Speaker, so that I distinguish between a polling station and a high school and a national school. Mr. Speaker, finally, on the issue of corruption, and I was saying alcohol, Mr. Speaker, is used for blessings. It's used to, when especially ceremonies like circumcision, among others, Mr. Speaker, we should, especially December, the Ministry of Interior should give us leave for almost a month so that we ensure our children who are going to initiation celebrate very well, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of corruption, especially I support. I think my time is fast spent, but it was taken by Senator Mandago.
Senator Enoch Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to first make a comment on the statement issued by the Senator of Tana River, Senator Mugatana, my neighbor. Mr. Speaker, the issue of corruption in county governments has really become an issue of serious concern, not just to this House, but to every Kenyan, everywhere. And I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, that this statement has come from Senator Mugatana at such a time as this. Because last night, Mr. Speaker, as I watched news, I got very disturbed. And one of the disturbing issues that I saw there was the rate at which county governments are absorbing development funds. Tana River is absorbing only 3% of its development funds, Mr. Speaker. Which means then even if they have budgeted billions of shillings in development, a lot of that money stays unutilized. And yet when you go there, you'll find hospitals that have stalled, projects that have stalled. You'll find there, Mr. Speaker, ECD centers that have stalled. You will find dams that are halfway done, markets that are not done. Mr. Speaker, there is need for a broader and deeper conversation about the performance of county governments, especially the absorption of development funds. Mr. Speaker, the whole essence of devolution, if I understand it well, and I know I do, is that it was supposed to make sure that people determine their own development agenda, and that when county governments then plan for that development, then there is proper execution, so that it is not just people seated in boardrooms in Nairobi deciding on what needs to be done in Marsabit, or in Laikipia, or in Bomet, but the people of those specific areas determine their own development agenda, and they participate in making budgets to finance their own development. Mr. Speaker, as I said, there is need for a deeper and wider conversation around that issue of corruption and the rate of absorption.
Honorable Senators, we have fully utilized the 15 minutes that I had allocated for comments. We will therefore proceed to the next order. Clerk.
Order number 8, the Culture Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2024, second reading, division.
That order is deferred. Next.
Order number 9, the Public Audit Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 4 of 2024, second reading, division.
That order is deferred.
Order number 10, the Health Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 12 of 2025, second reading, division.
That order is deferred.
Order number 11, motion, report of the Third Commonwealth Parliamentary with Disabilities Africa Region Conference held in Lusaka, Zambia, 24th to 28th February 2025. Resumption of debate interrupted Wednesday, 18th March 2026, morning sitting.
The interruption of debate, Senator Joyce Korir had the floor, and you have a balance of 13 minutes. You may take them or you may rest.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, I remember, Honorable Speaker, that I was contributing on this report on the Commonwealth parliamentarians on the issues of people living with disability. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, despite the effort that has been taken by the government, the Kenyan government, in terms of making sure that they incorporate the people living with disability or pupils living with disability within the primary schools, and they have also gone to an extent of doing or providing the ramps in a number of buildings. We still have a lot of shortages, Honorable Speaker. And by so saying, Honorable Speaker, we have a number of people living with disabilities within our villages who are still languishing in poverty, Honorable Speaker. I want to say, Honorable Speaker, that it would be prudent for the ministry, or the relevant ministry, to come out with a formula of how they can have these people, or the data of these people living with disability. Despite the fact that we have the cash transfers that are meant for these people, Honorable Speaker, you find they are given peanuts, that is 2,000 shillings per household, Honorable Speaker, And the challenges are so much, Honorable Speaker. They can't use it even to pay fees. They can't use it even for basic needs, Honorable Speaker. So I think it is a high time, Honorable Speaker, that we need to relook at the whole issue of capturing the data across the country so that at least we can be able to ascertain the number of disabilities by county, Honorable Speaker. And not only that, we also need to ascertain the number of school-going students. We also need to ascertain the number of families that are having extreme issues of poverty, Honorable Speaker. I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, because even as we speak now, I'm trying to put up a house to one of the families in Bomet where they have 3 children living with disability, and the family is living in a total or a very deplorable state, Honorable Speaker. So I want to say that we cannot be able to do it as individuals, but if the government can take an initiative, just like other countries where these people living with disabilities are being taken care by the government, and we need to set up an independent body that is supposed to be just looking at these people, Honorable Speaker, so that their issues can be addressed amicably, Honorable Speaker. It's not enough. We have the representation within the county assemblies, we have the representation within the National Assembly, but still their issues are not addressed, Honorable Speaker. Despite the fact that the government have come up with a number of programs, the issues of the cash transfers, sometimes you find the women reps also trying their best in terms of making sure that there's a system in terms of starting their businesses, Honorable Speaker. I want to say it's still a challenge in this country. We still have a lot of them who are not captured, Honorable Speaker. There is even the issue of registration, where they have to go far to be able to be registered, Honorable Speaker, which, of course, I would want to believe, Honorable Speaker, if we can have a way as a government where they can move to the villages to make sure that they do the registration at the grassroots level, Honorable Speaker, we will be able to sort out these menace once and once for all. And we will be able to assist these people, and I can say away from politics, Honorable Speaker, because sometimes, for example, when we are going for campaigns, most of the time you find things that are happening are just being done because of political mileage, Honorable Speaker, which I believe this should not be happening, especially for these people living with disability, Honorable Speaker. When you finish, when you make a visit to their families, you really find, you really see the way they are going through a very rough time, Honorable Speaker. Even the parents of these children, Honorable Speaker, cannot do anything. A number of them are not employed. So they need to leave their children, their kids inside the house to go look for their daily bread. And it becomes difficult. Some of them even doesn't have assistive devices that they can assist even these children to even be able to move around, Honorable Speaker. So it becomes a challenge, which I want to say that we need to look at this, Honorable Speaker. I know there is a bill that was passed by Honorable Asige, but I want to believe, Honorable Speaker, that there are a number of amendments that we need to come up with, because I still believe that this issue is not adequately addressed, Honorable Speaker. So I am of the idea that we have to relook at this, and I want to say that I must commend the parliamentarians for really touching on this issue, but I still want to believe that we have a long way to go. We need to sort this issue once and once for all. We need to have an independent body that is dealing with people with disability. We need to have the correct data. We need to have all of them who are supposed to be assisted or who are vulnerable. They must be in the list of those who are being assisted by the government. And I also want to urge the government that, or through the relevant committee, that we need to look at the ways of increasing these 2,000 shillings that are being given, or the stipends that are being given on monthly basis, Honorable Speaker, because it's a challenge. You find also another, I was seeing yesterday during the registration in some of the counties, and you find an elderly who is at the age of 60, who has not been able to register as a citizen, Honorable Speaker. And you find, if those people are not registered just because of I can talk of the fastness of the county and the vulnerability and understaffing in some of these ministries, Honorable Speaker, what of these people living with disabilities who cannot go anywhere, Honorable Speaker? So it's high time that we need to move to the grassroots and make sure that we have all these details at hand, so that as we are planning, as we are budgeting, we be able to budget and make sure that all these families are assisted, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, I support. Thank you.
Senator Sigei.
Mr. Speaker, my request earlier on was to comment on the previous statements, which you since passed on that. And second request, of course, was to move my motion. So I do not know whether the opportunity granted to me is to contribute to...
To contribute to the motion.
Well, I'll pass so that I move my motion.
Senator Wamatinga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this one of the most important topics that we as Africans, because of the very traditions that we have, are shy from speaking about. Mr. Speaker, when you talk about disability, we visualize physical disability. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is indeed very important, and I want to concur with my colleague that this is a topic that we need to go in depth. Disability, Mr. Speaker, sir, does not stop at physical limitations. It does go a long way, even in mental limitations. It is a matter that we are all alive of, Mr. Speaker, that some students in school, Mr. Speaker, do suffer from dyslexia, dyscalculia, and many other disorders that puts them at a very, very high disadvantage when they've been put in the same class with an average student. These are some of the issues, Mr. Speaker, that we must, as a country, we must build the capacity for the teachers in school, for the community, and indeed for the larger society to be able to take notice that there are kids who suffer from these disorders and therefore do need a lot of attention. Mr. Speaker, in developed countries, we know that kids who are gifted differently sit for different exams. This is one of the few countries in this part of the world that generalize the exam for everybody and expect that everybody is going to perform well without taking note of the limitations that the students have. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is imperative that we as a society, we as parents, we as teachers, that we start now taking into account this disability that affects pupils right from early age. Mr. Speaker, it may not be understood by a common person how disheartening, how demotivating, how demoralizing it can be for an average student who's been put into the same classroom with someone who's suffering from dyslexia, and they're supposed to perform the same way. Mr. Speaker, and this should inform even the curriculum that we use to train our teachers. This should inform the curriculum that we use even to teach our kids in school, because we cannot equate two pupils learning who do not have the same capacity in terms of their mental capacity to be able to undertake the same exam. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as we explore this subject of disability, it must be defined further. It must be broken down into smaller units. We must go down, Mr. Speaker, to not only those sitting on wheelchairs, not to those who are blind alone, but, Mr. Speaker, we must go deep down further to those who also have limitations, mental limitations, by the nature of some limitation that they have, so that we are able also to design a curriculum for them that will take care of them and also carry them along. Mr. Speaker, as I was listening somewhere in a meeting that I attended yesterday, and I had an opportunity of interacting with children who suffer from different forms of disability, I was surprised how gifted they are if their talents are nurtured right from the right age, Mr. Speaker. A child who can barely speak, as Tana, Mr. Speaker, when they get a mic and they start to sing, Mr. Speaker, you would barely believe that they have any challenge. But that is only possible if that's recognized right from the word go, nurtured, and most important, Mr. Speaker, encouraged to take that flow. Mr. Speaker, same as those students who are gifted in arts. Some of them, Mr. Speaker, very, very, very good, very, very, very talented, but once they are pushed into the normal curriculum, Mr. Speaker, they lose the touch and their talent gets wasted along the line. They end up getting wasted, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, we as a House, we must be in the front line in ensuring that we capture all the categories of disability, but most importantly, the allocation, as has been said by my colleague, the allocation that's given to them, Mr. Speaker, it is barely enough to see them through. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, it is also imperative that we conduct a lot of civic education. We know that Africans, most of us, because of the very way that we've been brought up, we are mostly ashamed of saying that we have children or we have families that are able differently, and that is why, Mr. Speaker, we must go back to where we were and conduct civic education and saying that being differently able does not mean disability. That being disabled, Mr. Speaker, does not mean that you are not able-bodied, because we've seen heavily talented children, heavily talented people. I would only remember in our time Steve Wonder, who was one of the greatest musicians who's ever lived in his time, that he was a bright person, but that never limited him from becoming one of the greatest singers of all times. Mr. Speaker, therefore I do believe that it is important for this House, it is important for we as a country to acknowledge and to take note that there are people, yes, rather than those who are just physically and visibly disabled, there are others who have mental challenges. Some of these conditions, Mr. Speaker, you are not able to detect them from the onset. And therefore, it is important that we train our teachers so that they're able to detect these cases as early enough, right from early childhood, and therefore these can be mainstreamed to ensure that their talent does not get eroded, their confidence does not get eroded, and most importantly, that they walk the journey depending on the challenges they have to ensure that the talent that they have does not go to waste. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Senator Mandago.
I was on the statement, Speaker.
Senator Essi Okenyuri. Clerk, do you have quorum so that I proceed to put the question now that we have nobody wishing to comment further? Senator Mbugua, the mover. Is the mover present, clerk? All right, I'll then proceed to put the question. Which is that the Senate notes the report of the Third Commonwealth Parliamentarians with Disabilities, CPWD, Africa Region Conference, held in Lusaka, Zambia, from 24th to the 28th of February 2025, and laid on the table of the Senate on the 7th of August 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Honorable Isaiah Maina, a member of the County Assembly of Nandi, representing Olesos Ward, on the proposed amendments to the County Governments Act, Cap 265.
Chairperson Jailak.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move the motion that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Honorable Isaiah Maina, a member of the County Assembly of Nandi County, representing all Lesos Ward, on proposed, Mr. Speaker, we're still learning on how to use these gadgets, on the proposed amendments to the County Governments Act, Cap 265, laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, the 11th of March 2026. Mr. Speaker, this report, the report to this petition is in the gadgets, and I would like to request members to have a look at it, because we received the report, the petition, Mr. Speaker, on the 23rd of September 2025, And once it was commissioned before the jailer committee, the committee, of course, undertook what it normally does, that is to conduct stakeholder engagement. Mr. Maina, or rather Honorable Maina, is a member of County Assembly of Nandi County, where my good friend from Kapsabet Boys, Senator Cherargei, comes from and represents. And this particular member of County Assembly, Mr. Speaker, is seeking in his petition several proposed amendments to the County Governments Act. To be precise, Mr. Speaker, he's seeking to amend 8 clauses, or rather 8 sections in the County Government Act, that is Section 31, Section 32, Section 33, 35, 45, 46, and 58. Mr. Speaker, the objects of his petition, once, of course, it was tabled before this committee, is, Mr. Speaker, to seek to align the functions of the county government in terms of enhancing efficiency of devolution and the principles that have been enshrined in the Constitution, particularly Article 10, 174, 175 on matters devolution and protection of county governments. Mr. Speaker, a while back, we had the statement by my learned senior, Dr. Mungatana, on an inquiry of the status of cases, particularly regarding his county government of Tana River, from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. What Honorable Maina, Mr. Speaker, is seeking to do in his petition is more or less what the statement by Senator Mungatana was seeking. Once we enhance and facilitate the importance of devolution and the protection of devolution by the oversight role of this House, the law governing the administration of functions at the county level is Cap 265, that is the County Governments Act. This is the one that Honorable Maina is seeking in his petition to amend. However, Mr. Speaker, upon engaging several stakeholders, among them the Office of the Attorney General, Council of Governors, Kenya Law Reform Commission, the Law Society of Kenya, among others, various memoranda was availed before the committee. And they largely spoke to an already substantial provision of almost all the aspects that he sought to amend in the County Governments Act. And their position generally, Mr. Speaker, was that we already have enough laws. We have laws having been enacted all the way from the supreme law of the land, that's the Constitution, as well as the County Governments Act. And therefore, what is missing is the governance in how we implement or enforce the provisions of law. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the committee, in its recommendation, which I'll shortly get into, rejected substantively all the proposals, but proposed only one, which in its wisdom sought to implement the provisions of the law that are being sought to be amended by Mr. or rather Honorable Maina. And Mr. Speaker, among them, to be very specific, for example, the first proposal that he wanted to make is the amendment to Section 2 of the County Governments Act. In his own desire, Honorable Maina sought to say that we need to define in law what absence of the governor or deputy governor in office means, and for what period of time does it requires a replacement. But, Mr. Speaker, you know, in the law as it is, Article 182 defines temporary absence of a governor or a deputy governor from office, and subsequently it also explains what actions are available to a county assembly or to the governor in circumstances where that particular office holder is absent in office. And that is actually the basis upon which the committee and the other stakeholders said this then is not warranted because we have over-legislated particularly on that aspect. And number two, the Constitution provides for instances and action that needs to be done in the event of absence of such an office holder. And therefore, amending the existing law in itself will be going against the provisions of the Constitution, and therefore the committee rejected that proposal. The second proposal on the amendment to Section 30, subsection 2D, spoke about the appointment of the county executive committee members. In this case, Honorable Maina is saying that before a governor appoints an individual, he must advertise. He must seek from specific competent institutions certain individuals so that the law, according to him, would require a uniform appointment or organizational structure and process of appointing these people, subject to now the county assembly approving. Mr. Speaker, we all are aware that county executive committee members are normally political appointees, and therefore legislating on this particular aspect will take away the autonomy of a county governor who has been elected by a majority of the public from that county, so that he is controlled on how he will do it. Secondly, he is desiring to say all county governments have uniform structure. That is obviously not possible because the county government of Nairobi, for example, has got wards more than 80, whereas the county I represent of Bomet has got only 25 wards. If therefore we were going to say we will amend the law to have a uniform structure, it means that I have got 11 county executive committee members in Bomet. Nairobi county government, which is bigger and larger, would be required by law then to have the same number of CCs. That is not possible, it is not practicable. And the committee, as well as the stakeholders that appeared before the committee, rejected that proposal again because we have got different county governments with divergent interests, divergent views in terms of the, I would say, departments that they would create. For instance, the county government of Nairobi would have a department, for example, of disaster management or even regeneration of Nairobi River, whereas a county in Northeastern that do not have a river around does not necessarily require such kind of a department. That proposal, Mr. Speaker, equally was rejected. It was seeking to sort of have a prescriptive way of creating departments within county governments, and therefore it could not convince the committee that that was required. Mr. Speaker, the third one, which is, I'm picking a bit of those which are very critical, Section 58A, Honorable Maina is making a proposal that we create a timeline within which, where there is an existence of a vacancy in the office of the chairperson or the secretary to the County Public Service Board, that timeline is limited so that we don't have a longer and reasonably long period of time where County Public Service Board cannot sit, either to employ, to discipline, or to undertake the role of that particular office because of absence of a chairperson or absence of a secretary. In most cases, Mr. Speaker, what happens is that when a county governor, a rogue one for that matter, like the governor of Bomet, who is very rogue, if and when he does not want to run the county government appropriately, in the event of absence of an office, like in this case, we just had the County Public Service Board the other day being reconstituted. We have had almost 6 months without one. Then that law, as it is right now, has actually given the governor the leeway to decide when can he purpose to fill that position. This proposal by Honorable Maina requires that it should not be vacant for a period of more than 3 months. Actually, the proposal says that in the event of a vacancy arising in the office of the chairperson of the County Public Service Board or that of secretary, a period of 14 days should not lapse before a replacement or a process of replacement begins. That way, Mr. Speaker, it protects the operations of the County Public Service Board, protects the employees who are employed by that County Public Service Board, and ensures that rogue governors are not given the leeway to decide that there is no County Public Service Board, and therefore there cannot be anything that can be done within that period. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the proposal seeks to give quorum in law, that as long as there is not less than 3 members of the board is quorate for purposes of transacting the business of that particular board. That way also it cushions the County Public Service Board from conducting its business as long as they have the number that the law provides. And Mr. Speaker, that is the proposal that the committee agreed with Honorable Maina, and therefore sought to recommend that for purposes of making sure that we cushion the County Public Service Board and have it able to operationalize its mandate, then we should have in law quorum as well as a timeline within which, in the existence of a vacancy, we have the governor required within a period of 14 days to advertise and thereafter recruit members to the County Public Service Board. There is another proposal that the committee, Honorable Speaker, made that requires the Council of Governors as well as the Public Service Board to create a policy or to establish a policy framework on the procedures which are generally required for purposes of making a report to this House. Remember, Mr. Speaker, under Article 96, this House is mandated by the Constitution to protect our county governments and devolution. Where there is no policy framework on how county public service boards as well as the Senate can undertake oversight of such institutions, we fail to do that the Constitution requires of us to protect the county governments, and the committee is making that proposal that we have the Council of Governors as well as the Public Service Board create a policy framework to ensure that such reports arising from the County Public Service Board can get to this House so that we have an opportunity to also interact with it and, where necessary, make additional oversight recommendations. But all in all, Mr. Speaker, Section 58A, which is a proposal to be introduced, is what the committee agreed with Honorable Maina and will make that proposal to amend the law. Mr. Speaker, as I end, I want to thank the members of the committee. I can see some in the House who participated in engaging the stakeholders in understanding the petition, in understanding why they rejected the proposals which Honorable Maina sought to make, as well as making also far-reaching recommendations as regards the administration and management of County Public Service Board. Mr. Speaker, I thank you. I beg to move and ask my neighbor, Senator Tana, to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, may I start by congratulating the Honorable Sigei, who is the chair of the Legal Committee, for bringing this report before the House. I beg to second, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sigei is one of the most hard-working chairs. And it is true that through his effort, we have seen the Legal Justice Committee has been able to meet early in the morning. This is unlike all other committees. So I really want to thank him and his team for the good work they have done in this report. The other person I want to recognize, Mr. Speaker, is the Honorable AJAABU Maina. This is the MCA, or member of the County Assembly of Nandi or Lesos Ward. Mr. Speaker, this honorable member is a good example and should be a good example to all other members of County Assembly listening to me across the country today. The Honorable AJAABU Maina, whom we are mentioning in this House, should be honored because what he has seen, he has looked at the County Government Act and he has said there are things, if we change this law, would benefit all the county governments in the Republic of Kenya. And he has taken time to make various proposals through this petition to the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the Senate. This gentleman, Mr. Speaker, is a good example of what cooperation can be between county assemblies and the Senate, how we can be working together to make sure the laws that we are using are fit for purpose. He has brought several proposals through this petition to the Justice Committee of the Senate, and 2 of these proposals have passed. Mr. Speaker, the first proposal, he says, we've got to have a law that is uniform for all governors, deputy governors, county executive committee members who are serving in terms of leave and absence from office. Mr. Speaker, you know, there is no uniformity in terms of these policies across the counties, the 47 counties. In fact, Mr. Speaker, there are several county governments that do not have any policies on leave. So, Mr. Speaker, you have a county governor who goes on leave without saying. You don't see him in the county. You don't see him doing any executive work, but he is not in the county. He is not known where he is. Mr. Speaker, they just disappear. There's no leave policy. The deputy governor who is there, who is consistently in the county, he's not given any responsibility. There's no letter that is there that shows, okay, I'm the county governor of Tana River, I have traveled to Nairobi, now all matters for the next 1 week must be handled by the deputy governor. He is the acting governor for the period I am away, so that business in the county continues. There's no such policy. And I know it's not just my county. It is the counties across the 47 counties. Governors, they don't bother. They travel abroad. They go and they spend 1 month. They spend 3 weeks outside the county. And I'm telling you, the deputy governors are there. There's no policy. Who is supposed to take executive decisions? Mr. Speaker, our governor, the Honorable Governor Dado, this man went to Belém in Brazil for 3 weeks. And Mr. Speaker, the requirement is that you must show the public benefit for your travel and file a report. Mr. Speaker, that report has never been filed. He stays here shortly in the county for a short while. Now, Mr. Speaker, they have made a plan. In fact, there's a letter by a gentleman called Maurice Osono, the Chief of Staff, requesting a rural county in called Woodlands in Alberta to invite them so that they can come to learn governance in that county, a rural county in Alberta, Canada. And they will stay there for many, many, many days. Mr. Speaker, if you just calculate just for 7 days, it will cost the county government of Tana River at least 4 million to keep a governor there. And Mr. Speaker, this is contrary to the requirements of travel, public travel for governors. They must show the public benefit for that travel. This is a governor who has been a member of parliament. He has been an assistant minister. He has served in the army as a major. He's a second-term governor. Why would you want to take money from the county to go and stay in Alberta in a rural county called Woodlands to try and learn about governance? Surely. And carry a delegation of 5 people. Shame, Mr. Speaker. I have made a formal complaint to the Canadian High Commissioner. I have said they should not be given any clearance to travel. I have told the ministry here, I have made a complaint to the minister in charge so that, Mr. Speaker, we can have real-time oversight on these things. There's no policy of travel. People just absent themselves. They feel like a holiday. They take off. And Mr. Speaker, we must have this policy. These offices, they don't belong to you, governors. You are just public servants. This thing, I don't know why people forget it. You are just a public servant. The office belongs to the people of the county. You are just public servant for a period of 5 years. Mr. Speaker, these people have grown horns. They think they are some demigods or something. Imagine, Mr. Speaker, just because Tana River is hot, you leave your car running, Mr. Speaker, so that the air condition is running. You give a speech so that when you come back to your car, it's cool and nice. What is that, Mr. Speaker? If you give that person, you remove him from office today, that person would never leave their car running. You know, these governors, Mr. Speaker, it's not just my county governor. You employ two little people to carry your whatever, these things, podiums. That's an employment for a person. And your chair. I mean, who do you think you are? During the campaigns, you are standing even under trees and talking to the people. What is the difference between talking to the people when you don't have a podium or when you employ someone to carry these things? These stupid habits, wasteful habits must stop. And I'm saying this because, Mr. Speaker, this is one of the rogue governors who has refused to come to the Senate Public Accounts Committee. And, Mr. Speaker, you know, in the account time period ending June 2025, this man was given, for the county executive, was given an adverse opinion by the Auditor General of the Republic of Kenya. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to have clear policies. Governors must write down these policies. The counties across the nation, these offices are not personal. You can be sick. So the decisions, who makes the decisions? The deputy governors must be given that opportunity to act as governors. If you are a CEC, you are not well, you have traveled, you've gone abroad, there must be a policy that will allow another CEC to act for you during that period. It's not your personal office. Why do people hold these offices like they belong to them, Mr. Speaker? Why do people change so much? Why? Or is it the title, His Excellency? Is it the title, Honorable? You are servants of the people. I don't know why people change. They suddenly think they are so big, so important. And yet these are offices that belong to the public. Mr. Speaker, I really agree with this MCA, the Honorable Isaiah Maina, when he says we need to codify, make laws that require proper policy in terms of leave of absence, in terms of when a governor, when a deputy governor, when a CEC leaves the office for whatever reason, so that our county governments can run without a hitch. Decisions can be made without a problem. Let us not personalize these offices. Mr. Speaker, let us not personalize these offices. The other recommendation that was given through the legal committee, the Justice and Legal Committee of the Senate, accepting what the Honorable Maina had said through the petition he filed, he says there must be a uniform law determining how quorum is found within all the county public service boards. Mr. Speaker, county public service boards in the 47 counties have become a source of grief for the people of Kenya. You know, these people, and I speak with a lot of pain from the people of Kenya. A lot of applications are done to them. And the people, they don't, you know, you see advertisements, people are called for interviews, and then the whole thing goes quiet. You don't know if you are successful, if you are not. Then all of a sudden, some people are given letters, others are left. Our young people are left hanging. They don't know what has happened to them.
Mr. Speaker, county public service boards have become a law unto themselves. They don't respond to inquiries. They don't operate transparently. Even when they employ, they don't have a clear, transparent manner in which they return the results of those employment applications. County Public Service Board, Mr. Speaker, have become a source of many audit queries. And I'm speaking for the Public Service Board in Tana. Mr. Speaker, there have been a lot of queries in terms of high legal costs. People sue the County Public Service Board at the kind of fees the County Public Service Board is paying. They are unreasonable. Unreasonable. Cases that are very simple and should be resolved just by discussions, they prefer to put a lawyer because one hand gives, the other hand collects. Mr. Speaker, we must bring order. So I really agree with the Honorable Mr. Isaiah Maina, the member of Olesus Ward from Nandi County, in this proposal that has been approved by the Senate Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage the committee to quickly move. The time is not with us. Let us make a difference to how our counties operate. Let that law come, Section 58A of the County Governments Act, the proposed amendments. Let us debate it very quickly. It will come here as a committee amendment, so we will move it very quickly on the order paper. And I know that this Senate will support it very quickly so that we can start making our counties function properly. I also want to just repeat, as I sit, Mr. Speaker, that county members of MCAs, members of county assemblies across the counties, please don't sit there. Let us keep on cooperation. If you see the law is not working, come and talk to us, like the way the Honorable Isaiah Maina did, and we will be able to listen to you. We will be able to improve the workings of our county governments. For the time that we will serve in this Senate, we will assist you. And Mr. Speaker, I wish Mr. Isaiah Maina was here, because this is the kind of public servant that deserves all the support. And I know if Senator Gerard Gay goes to be a governor, he will support the Honorable Maina to be the Nandi senator so that he can come here and help us to make the laws. These are the kind of people we should help to develop our legal system and make our places where we work better. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to second this report. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Honorable Isaiah Maina, a member of the County Assembly of Nandi County, representing Olesus Ward, on proposed amendments to the County Governments Act, Cap 265, laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 11th March, 2026. Before I open the floor for debate, let me make this communication. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of Mr. Obino Nyambane, HSC, who is in the Senate, on a courtesy call to Senator S.A. Okenyuri, MP. Honorable Senators, Mr. Obino Nyambane, HSC, is a multifaceted individual with a passion for education, culture, and arts, a renowned thespian who has graced the stage numerous times with the captivating performances to his audiences. His love of arts led him to take on leadership role as a director of culture in the county government of Kisii. He worked tirelessly to promote and preserve the rich cultural heritage of his community. He is also an educated teacher with a strong commitment in shaping young minds, and his impact extends beyond the classroom. As an Abagusi cultural ambassador, Mr. Obino has championed his community's traditions, customs, and values. He has showcased the unique aspects of the Bagusi culture, promoting cross-cultural understanding and appreciation. These outstanding contributions have not gone unnoticed. During the 2023 Masuja Day celebrations, he was honored with the End of State Commendation, HSC, by His Excellency the President for outstanding service and exceptional contributions to education, culture, and arts. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to him, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I wish him a fruitful visit. Thank you. Senator Okenyuri, you can take, because this is a bit comprehensive, maybe 2 to 3 minutes to welcome the visitor, Mr. Obino Nyambane, End of State Commendation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to take this moment to also welcome Mr. Obino Nyambane, a man well known to me for quite some time now, and congratulate him for what he's been doing quite over time, even before he was recognized. Mr. Speaker, it's interesting to note that just recently, courtesy of Mr. Obino, I got to identify that the clan which I come from, Omosweta in Kisii, is actually named after, it's said from the information I gathered from Mr. Obino that Osweta actually, when Osweta was born, he was actually very hairy, and they equated that to a Columbus monkey. And later, when the monkeys were attacking fields of other persons in Kisii, his maize field was never attacked. So, courtesy of that, our clan accommodated a monkey